when a band goes on hiatus for 8 years and then comes back for their ninth album, what are we supposed to make of that? Well, today, boys and girls, we're talking about Beardfish. Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. You are in the Prog Corner, and today I'm talking about a band I've never talked about before. Hey, it's not my fault. They were broken up, when this channel started. So this is their first album since the Prog Corner's been a thing, and it is called Songs for Beating Hearts. This came out November 1st on Inside Out Music. It is fantastic. Shout out to the cover artist, man. It's really, really stellar stuff. It's done by Spencer Kiala Bowden. Just really beautiful. Gatefold. Got the lyrics, liner notes, all the info about the boys in the band. Just a stellar package. So yeah, who is in the band? Well, of course, this band was formed in 2001 in Sweden by Rikard Sjöblom, and he is joined by David Zachrisson on guitar, Robert Hansen on bass, Magnus Ostgren on drums, and they had a fifth member for their first album, a guy by the name of Stefan Aronson, but he took off. I bet he wished he would have stayed, right? Because he was on their first album, Franen Platz du Conceit, from 2003, and then 2 years later, The Same Day came out. They released that as a 4-piece. Shortly thereafter, they get signed to Inside Out and put out their 1-2 punch of Sleeping in Traffic 1 and 2, and then Destination Solitaire. Came out in 2009, Mammoth in 2011, The Void in 2012, the one album by them I kinda don't love, and then what was supposed to be their final album, Plus 4626 minus Comfort Zone, back in 2015, and that leads us to the new one, man, Songs for Beating Hearts. Well, back in I think May of 2023, some Asker Culture House announced that they were doing a concert with the Chronicles of Father Robin, and the opening act was going to be Beardfish, so everybody's all excited. Are they back? Is this just a one-off? But luckily, they re-signed with Inside Out. They're putting out some of their older ones. I think Destination Solitaire just came out on vinyl. This album is 6 songs, 51 minutes long, even though the epic is broken up into 5 pieces. There is a bonus track, which is like a demo from 1982. How is there a demo from 1982? These guys aren't that old. They're not old enough to have a song that old. Anyway, it opens up with a little unassuming track called Ecotone. Starts with the classical guitar, that nylon string kind of stuff. We're in E minor here. Lots of reverb-soaked sound effects in the background, like somebody's taking a tube amp and dropping it and stuff, and you got all this, washes of reverb and echo in the background. The chorus kicks in, and yeah, we go to the relative major, so you're in G there, so it's nice and bright and really beautiful. Kind of makes me think of some of those folky indie bands like Shearwater or Okerville River. Just fantastic. This kind of functions like a title track because he's singing about, songs for beating hearts and the lyrics, so whatever. Next up comes the epic, man, the 5-part Out in the Open. It's so great. It opens up with an overture. And you got keyboards. It opens with the piano, and you're in E flat. And then it gets really, really fast, and you're in C minor. Very Rick Wakeman sounding. One of my colleagues said it sounded like a Rick Wakeman solo album from the 70s, and that's never a bad thing. And then you got a synth that goes on over the top of that piano that sounds really, really good. Chris Squire sounding bass in this song, courtesy Robert Hansen, just very, very cool. And then they do it in C major, that part they were doing in minor. They do it in a major key. Really good. You get hints of the next part of the song creeping in at times. But what a great way to start an epic. The second part is known as Oblivion. It's almost 6 minutes long, and it starts with a clavinet, a real syncopated clavinet, and you realize, hey, the Gentle Giant influences aren't dead. Absolutely. Anytime you hear a clavinet, I either think of Stevie Wonder or Gentle Giant. You get a real funky bass line on this. It's really cool. Rikard just belts it out, man. He's got a good voice. It's a little different, right? Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I don't. And then you get a real cool, tricky Moog section in 11/8. A whole lot of fun. Kind of like ELP meets Italian prog. And that's one of the things I love about Scando prog is they don't take their cues just from the Brits, right? Most of these Scandinavian bands listen to tons and tons of Italian prog, and it shows up here. Part 3 is called Hopes and Dreams, and it's a sleepy, quiet thing where you got the steel string guitar going. You're in D minor here. He's doing some finger picking. He's doing some strumming, and you got some spacey keys in the background, the vocals. This is basically just Ricard and David's track. The rhythm section kind of gets to take, 4 minutes off, and then you get into part 4, which is called Oblivion Reprise. This is a cool section, man. It sounds almost like reggae. It's just bizarre. You got this like reggae guitar thing going on with Robert and Mangus. The rhythm section sounding really, really good here. And then Ricard just busts out this nasty Hammond organ solo. Then you get some more clavinet in there, making me think of Gentle Giant. It's awesome. Part 5. It's called Around the Bend, and this is kind of like if Procol Harum decided they wanted to send this thing off in glorious fashion. It's beautiful with the Hammond organ, just heavenly sounding, so great. Then you get these arpeggios sliding up and down between 2 chords, and it ends with this beautiful church organ and a crunchy guitar. Just awesome, man. Wow. This is the best thing Beardfish ever did, without a doubt. Next up is called Beating Hearts, man. And this starts side 2. And I love this track almost as much as I love the epic. It starts with this string quartet in G minor. Really dark and somber with a little bit of dissonance thrown in there. You get a little finger pick section in D minor. It gets a little breezy and stuff, a little California kind of feel going on. Then it slows down and you get this real distorted guitar just playing, on the quarter notes. It totally makes me think of this band from Portland called 31 Knots. Check them out if you haven't heard them. Then Ricard starts singing. It sounds like Neil Moore singing The Devil's Got My Throat from Snow, kind of that whole feel, like that heavier rocking kind of feel. And then the original string quartet part comes back in, but the band is still going. So cool how they do that. And then it kind of just dissolves into the strings at the end. Wonderful, fantastic. Next up is the first single called In the Autumn. This thing's 6 minutes long, and it's giving me all the big train vibes, a little bit of XTC vibes, almost like your boy David Zachrison decided he was going to channel a little David Gregory in his guitar playing here. Really, really great. Here you got Amanda Ortenhag singing backup vocals and lead vocals. I'm not crazy about the lyrics here, talk about like lovers do. It's just a little hokey to me. I'm not crazy about it, but then just like Big Train might do, you get this little fast, proggy middle section. Really cool. Ricard's singing about the stars will light your way, making me think of John Baygold and Pattern Seeking Animals there. But it's a good song. If this is the worst song of the album, this is going to be a good score. Then we get a little echo tone reprise, less than a minute long, on a treated piano, kind of setting you up for the final track, which is called Torrential Downpour. And this is a torrential downpour of emotion and feeling and vibes. This thing's great, man. I was honestly, I was kind of not loving this album at first. I liked the first part of the epic, but the rest of the album really wasn't doing a whole lot for me. And then this song comes around with its Band of Horses, My Morning Jacket, the War on Drugs kind of vibe. We're just slogging along in B minor here, and it's all about that minor third that they keep going to. And then the middle section switches over into B major. So you get this little bright, sprightly section again, making me think of Big Train and the jangly guitars of, yesteryear with Dave Gregory and Ricard playing in the band, or Dave Foster, who's no longer in the band. Hey, we're not talking about Big Train. We're talking about Beardfish, man. And then the last 2 minutes and you're back in B minor here, and you're doing that same figure, but oh man, they modulate to D minor, and my world is saved. I mean, it just took me right out of whatever kind of funk, whatever kind of doldrums that I was in listening to this album. As soon as that modulation happens in the last 2 minutes of the album, where he goes from B minor up that minor third to D minor. Oh, that's why we listen to prog rock music, ladies and gentlemen. That section there kind of makes me think a little bit of End You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead. But, it's just a Beardfish thing, man. It's just a Beardfish thing. Either you know or you don't know. So what's my score going to be for this puppy, man? Songs for Beating Hearts from Beardfish. Well, I really, really dig this thing. I've always liked Beardfish. Always been a fan of them since the first time I heard them, which was right around Sleeping in Traffic 1, I think. I'm giving this thing 9 out of 10, man. This is outstanding. I love it. I will see you tomorrow when we talk about the new album from Oddleaf, a very, very cool French progressive rock band you need in your life. Anyway, boys and girls, God save the king. You hear? We're going to save that king today. Absolutely. Because I hear he's not doing so good. So we're going to bring that boy. Where are we going to bring him? We're going to bring him to America, where we're going to fix him up real good. Lay the healing hands of the faithful on him. We're going to drink poison. We're going to do thoughts and prayers. We're going to do all that kind of stuff. It's not going to work. You know what's going to work? Billy Bob, you know what's going to work? Bust out them snakes, Billy Bob. Oh, no, they're coming to get me. Oh, they want to bite me. Oh, they're going to get me if I let them, but I'm not going to let them because I got the armor of God on me, my friends. I got the armor of God. Jesus will protect me, and he's going to protect you too. Don't worry. Fear not. Life is good. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.